Honestly, I'm tired of repeating the same cycles. I wanna let it go. So here I go, life drop. Starting a new path for my fam. Finding who I am. Speaking life, loving me, even when I fall. Cause life be life in a song. Life be life in a song. Cause life be life in a song. Life be life in a song.
Hey y'all, hey, it's me, Porschia O, your host of Life Be Lifin podcast. That was so terrible. Anywho, hey y'all. Happy Life Be Lifin Monday. Okay, we're back. We've made it to another installation of the podcast. I am child, I've been over here doing a whole lot, and I am just a little out of sorts, just a pinch, okay? But it's not a big deal. I'll be fine. But I wanted to share with you all. Last week, I just had a lot going on, doing some things in the house, and I'm tired. Child, listen. Anyway, but also I was just busy. I was busy, and I decided to do some other things rather than the podcast. And that's the kind of like downside of doing this live, because sometimes real life gets in the way. Hey, mommy, thank you so much for joining. Y'all see what I said. Please like, share, subscribe if you're on YouTube to my YouTube channel. It's very much so appreciated. Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna do this because I can't. Child, still can't see him. My laptop is kind of far from me today, so I really can't see all the things. But hey, James, thank you so much for joining. Appreciate you guys. As always, being here with me on Life Be Life on Monday. So yeah, as you see, this is episode 12 of the 4th season, and I titled this "My Baby Shook Me." Okay. And I know that sounds crazy or bad or whatever. It's my phone went off. It's really not. I mean, it is. It's not like whatever. So I want to talk about a conversation that I had with my oldest and how that impacted me and made me feel. So yeah, before we get into it, if this is your first time on this podcast, welcome. On this podcast, we talk about how life be over here, lifing through relationships, situations, and everyday experiences, all while in real time healing and learning how to be a better human being. So if that's what you're about and looking for, you are in the right place at the right time. Okay. Again, going back to tonight's episode, it is personal. I mean, all my episodes are personal, so what are we talking about? Anyway, but it is about something my baby shared with me, a confession, if you will, and how it made me feel as a mother. Oh my gosh, I was just having this conversation with somebody the other day, and I was saying like how amazing it is to, like, I find the baby stage of having kids like the most precious time ever. It's just so beautiful, such a beautiful experience. To know, prior to me having children, I always had this thought like, oh my gosh, like this came from you, this is yours, like how amazing could that be? I was always fearful of giving birth, per se, but the actual product of giving birth was worth it, right? The baby is worth it. And So I always like fantasize about like, oh my gosh, I wonder what my kids look like any normal human being would, right? Um, but I just thought it was so fabulous and so beautiful, such a beautiful experience. And so to once actually going through the process, being pregnant and giving birth and all of that, it's just even more like you just looking at this baby, how precious they are, how gentle you have to be, how innocent they are, how much they depend on you for their survival. Um, it's pretty amazing, and it just makes you feel so fulfilled. It makes you feel like I will never let anything happen to you. I will like burn the earth for this child. Um, and it's really, really, really special. Um, but yeah, so and I think mothers have a even more unique bond with the baby because we grew the baby inside of us. You know, that's 9 to 10 months of bonding happening in our bodies as this baby grows from like a pea to a full human being. So it's just really, really precious. It's a really precious time. But anywho, so I really the whole point of me saying all of this was that I hyper focus on those periods of bearing a child, right? Being a parent. That's like I hyper focus on the baby phase because like I can't wait to have my own. But nobody really fully prepares you, even for that phase, any phase of parenting, but like to see your child grow up, it's just like mind blown. Like I still look at my kids in awe pretty much every day. They say or do something, and I just be like, how do you know this? How are you even this big to like form sentences in this way? How how are you like, yeah, I can do that. I don't need your help. Like it phases to stuff, but like to really see them be like self-sufficient to an extent that they are. I have a 9 and a 6-year-old, and they are pretty independent kids. Like it's not much that they cannot do in their child way, right? I'm opening them up more to chores and being more responsible for their laundry, make sure their clothes are turned inside out, making sure that they clean up behind themselves. That's been a huge thing. Like, okay, I don't care. Like, y'all got to get it done. And like, really holding them responsible for these things and keeping their bed straight, neat, what not even neat, child, because they got 1,000 stuffies on their bed. But anywho, it's their bed. That's if they want to sleep with 1,000 stuffed animals, so be it. But it's just really watching them go through. Like Leah just had her first violin orchestra concert this past Thursday, and I literally cried through her solo. It was such an amazing time, an amazing feeling watching my babies just like not be babies. I call them babies, but they're not. They're not babies, okay? But anywho, prior to Leah's concert, a couple of days before, I think that Monday or so, and I tell them all the time, as you saw last season, we talked about emotional intelligence. My children are very emotionally intelligent. Okay, they know how to advocate for themselves, they know how to speak up for themselves, and they're still learning. Okay, but for the most part, they know, like they know language, they know things like that. And so I tell them they come to me, talk to me about anything, whatever's going on. She had an incident with a boy at school recently. We resolved that. Okay. But now here she come again, and we were getting ready for bed. Well, she was getting ready for bed, and she comes up to me and she's like, "Mommy, yeah, so I want to tell you something." And I said, "Okay, what's up?" And she says, "I feel like I'm fat." When she said that, it like somebody had stabbed me in the heart. Like it felt like somebody had knocked the wind out of me. It felt like What? And I was like, what? Why would you say that? My first response, why would you say that? And she said, oh, because I have a rounder stomach. I feel like I'm fat. And I'm like, baby, you're not fat. You're not fat. Now, let me preface this in a very good way. Because one day she may see this episode, right? And it's not to be like I'm not going to be real and authentic. I am, but I don't want her to ever feel any type of way. So when she said this to me, again, I felt like, what the, like, what? I didn't know that she was having these feelings, but I pay attention to my children. Okay, I watch their every move, I watch their mannerisms, I watch how they behave and whatever. And so I would notice with certain things. And Leah, in particular, has been shapely all of her life. Like, not to sexualize her, but we do that as a society, right? But I've noticed since she was little girl that she was shapely, something that I wasn't as a kid. Like, I was super skinny, didn't have no shape, straight up and down. Like, that's just how I was. Um, but Leah has always kind of been more curvy. And the older she got, the more defined it became. And so, I would tell her, like, oh, look at you. You got a booty like your mama. Like, that's the truth. I didn't have that when I was her age, but you know, with all the things that they're doing to our vegetation and the chemicals in the foods and all the type of stuff, these kids are becoming more defined quicker than what we would have, right? And I acknowledge that as well. And so, anyway, it was never, in the Black community, we uphold a woman's shape, especially a Black girl that is thicker and all that type of stuff. Now, I'm not telling her you're thick, like putting that in her head. I'm just like, you look beautiful the way that you are, right? And when she would comment on other people's body type looking different than hers, I would reinforce to her, like, again, there's nothing wrong with how you look. You're just more voluptuous. You're more shapely than other kids. And that's kind of what I had to tell her that day, too. I was like, if you're comparing yourself to the little white girls at your school, they are built differently than we are. Not saying that there are not Black body types that are similar or the same as that. But as for our family and your Nigerian roots, you are built differently. Okay. And so it's nothing wrong with that. And so when she was saying, well, I just feel like my stomach is rounder and things like that. And so my misstep in this conversation was telling her, well, that's why mommy is trying to get us to eat better. We want to make sure that we're eating more vegetables and fruit and more healthier things than having a cheeseburger every other day after school or pizza, even though it's homemade and it's frozen. You know what I'm saying? It's still like, it's not bad, but it's not like the best. You know what I'm saying? For you to be consuming all the time. And I do recognize, like, my children don't eat too much processed stuff as far as, like, what I grew up on. I grew up on deli meat. I grew up on hot dogs. We boil hot dogs. My mom bought a lot of stuff in the house that was quick and easy for us to make food and things like that. We grew up on a lot of canned foods and SpaghettiOs and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? My kids don't eat much of that. They just don't like it. Not that I haven't tried to incorporate it in their diets. Definitely gave them hot dogs when they was babies and stuff, but when they develop their own taste, but they don't like it. They don't like it. Okay. Micah don't eat no sandwiches except for peanut butter and jelly. She doesn't like burgers. She doesn't like deli sandwiches. Leah likes Panera Bread's turkey sandwich that I get. It's a specialty sandwich. But other than that, she don't really like a regular turkey and cheese sandwich. She don't like hot dogs. She will eat a cheeseburger or a chicken sandwich. Micah don't like no type of sauces, barbecue, ketchup, mustard. She don't want no sauce on nothing. Okay, that's just the way they are. But anyway, so yeah, but I did make a comment about the food that we were consuming, which was aligning like this is contributing to your body looking the way that it looks, right? I messed up because even though there may be some truth to that, I don't want to feed her self-reflection or her self-worth or her self-esteem to what she's eating. I don't want the two to like match up. Like they should not be going hand in hand. That's not what we're doing. Like, yes, what we eat does affect how we look, but also that does not make you less than. That does not make you ugly. That does not make you unattractive. That does not make you whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not gonna equate it to the negative mindset. I don't want to feed into what she already thinks of herself in a negative way. And so I sat with that. So I comfort her. And I told her, baby, no, you are beautiful. I'm like, yeah, you have a round stomach. But I'm like, it's only because, and this is another thing I recognize, because I had the same appetite that she does. Growing kids, they love to eat, things like that. I had the same appetite when I was a kid. The difference was I was extremely active, physically active. I didn't come home from school, sit in the house, watch TV, be on my iPad, or you know what I'm saying? It's not much physical activity going on. That wasn't my life. We used to go to school. We used to come home from school. We used to walk from school most days when I stayed in the hood. And then we'll go outside and be running around and jumping rope and playing games and doing all types of stuff until it was time for us to come in the house. You know, I wasn't in any extracurricular activities or anything like that, but not until middle school. But I was extremely active, like always moving. So even though my appetite was the same and I was eating the same, or even worse than what she probably eats, honestly, but I was physically active. So my weight didn't catch up to me until I was in high school. And I started to like develop. But she's already developing. She's been developing since she was 8. She wears training bras. So this is something like we've been on the lookout for other things. And I've been having a talk about periods and how her body is changing. And so anyway, I hugged her and told her, don't compare yourself to others. You are beautiful the way you are. You just need to be more physically active and it will even out. Trust me, it will even out. And I have been looking into some teams or sports, or we have been talking about it. Like she really want to try soccer. I really want her to try volleyball. I think she will enjoy that more. But you want to do soccer, let's do soccer. We've been trying to do a track team. Her school last year had this school year, but it ended last year, had a club after school, Girls on the Run, and so she ran track, and that was cool. That was super cool for her, and I really wanted her to keep pursuing that. And yeah, so she loves swimming. That's another thing she used to do a lot more of when we were in swimming school. But since they haven't been in swimming school, we have been doing a lot less swimming. Okay. So anyway, I was like, okay, like I kind of comforted her and was like, okay, I hear you. You're good. I reaffirmed her. I poured into her. I loved on her. And I sat with that for like 2 days by myself. Um, I think I was in shock that my child felt this way. I just didn't see, but I could tell like when she'll put on certain things, she'll be like pulling and tugging, and all her biggest thing right now, she want to wear all baggy clothes. And so I asked her the other day, I was like, is this because you want to hide your body? Because I know for me, when I did start to develop in high school and I did start to gain weight, I started to wear hoodies and sweatshirts all the freaking time because I was trying to cover up and hide my not so longer, skinny, itty bitty body. Now I have developed parts of me, you know what I'm saying? And I felt insecure about that. And yeah, so I didn't want that to be her thing either, right? Um, and I've said before on this podcast, like I feel like I had body dysmorphia all of my life. Even when I was small, it was always comments made about how small I was and I didn't have no shape and she ain't got nothing and she was like a little boy and you know what I'm saying? Like, and then when I started gaining weight, oh look at how big her legs are. Like, even though again the Black community these could be compliment, okay, but the transition for me was a lot. And so yeah, that was that. And I just sat with it and I had to be honest with myself. One day I was talking to my friend and she asked me how I was doing, and I told her that Leah had told me this and how I started crying because I was just like, I think I was in shock for 2 days. Like, what? But it really hurt my heart. It hurt my feelings. It made me feel like, man, I'm fucking up. Like I'm really dropping the ball on my kid. Like, what do I do? Like, what do I do? Like, again, I feel like I was so prepared for the baby phase, and I still wasn't prepared for that when it happened. Okay. But I hyper focused on that. And I think, you know, I thought some parts about when they get old, like, oh, I'm going to tell them this. I'm going to be very upfront with them. I'm going to, you know, let them know this, that, whatever. And that is true. But also these moments, man, it triggered me. It triggered me because I've dealt with my own issues when it comes to weight and body image and self-esteem attached to my body and things like that. And so I just didn't want her to feel that hurt. And it hurt me that she's already feeling that at 9 years old. Like, she's still a baby. And she's still my baby. So my heart was breaking. And I was like, okay, I really need to like figure out this. How to approach this moving forward. I don't want to pressure her or make her feel like you gotta lose weight. Because honestly, she's not big. Like, seriously, she's not. She does have a rounder stomach. But again, I think if she just got more physically active, she's gonna even out. Like, she'll be fine. She's just a solid girl. Like she's thicker, solid, more solid. That's all. Like, and as you see, it's what it is. And so her performance, her concert was coming up last Thursday, and after crying about it on Wednesday and some of Thursday, talking to people, and I talked to my mom about it and all of that, I decided that I was going to have another conversation with her, and we were going to deal with this. And I came up with a game plan. So I was thinking of all the ways. I had put out recommendations on Facebook, like, hey, anybody know where I can find? Now I'm like, I have to find a team so she can get active and this won't be a thing, right? And I got some resources or whatever, and hopefully I'm able to enter her into this track program not too far from us in April. But before that, I wanted to do some things, and I'm on my own journey of healing, as you all know, but also like my physicality or whatever. So I've been eating better, and I've been working out and doing the things that I need to do. Slow and steady wins the race. I'm only losing like a pound and a half a week, but I have to start somewhere, and so because this is not for a moment, this is a lifestyle. And so I told her, I came up with a plan. I was like, okay, she loves swimming. We have an indoor pool here in our home, so we can go to the swimming pool twice a week. That's automatic extra. That's a full body workout right there. But we can make it fun. It doesn't have to be, you got to do 20 laps and you got to swim for 30 minutes and you got to, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to make this a stressor on her. I want to relieve the stress off of her. And so I decided I'm going to play one of her favorite songs or some of her favorite songs. Child, she got a whole library of songs now. But I'm going to play some of her songs, and, maybe I'll challenge her because she's very competitive just like me, and be like, okay, so let's see how long can you outswim the song. You know what I'm saying? And she swam back and forth, back and forth. She's a really great swimmer now. And so I trust that she can get it done, and we can build up as she keeps doing it. But that is a full body workout right there. So that alone will help her, be more physically active, right? And then also I told her another thing. I'm doing daily walks, 25 minutes minimum a day. And so on Saturday and Sundays, she can do walks with me. But we can walk and talk. You know what I'm saying? Make it fun. We could talk about whatever she want to talk about, be silly, whatever it is, while we walk and talk. So that's another way she can get physically active. And then we also have a Nintendo Switch, and we can start back doing Just Dance, right? I can do it with her. She can do it with her sister, whatever. She can do it by herself if she wants, but she can do Just Dance, and that dancing is also making her physically active. Now, when the weather breaks, we can get back to skating outside. We get back to riding bikes. We can get back to running around in a park, like just being physically active, right? So yeah, I picked her up from school Thursday, and I talked to her about it, and I apologized to her about the comment about not having cheeseburgers every other day after school. And I asked her, did she think that me telling her that was saying that that's what's making her bigger or whatever? And she was like, yeah. And I said, no, that is not true. Like, I'm sorry that I said that. That's not what I was intending to say. I don't want you to equate these foods as, again, something negative and that you need to potentially get rid of, throw it up, things like we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Okay. So I told her what I really wanted to say is that your stomach, the way that it is, your body, the way that it is, just reinforcing that it is perfectly fine, it's doing what it's supposed to do. You're a growing girl. Your body is going to continue to change all of your life. People don't talk about it enough with women. They think, as we grow and people hyperfixate on, oh, in high school, you was this small. I was a kid. I was developing. Some develop sooner than others. And once you do develop, you're still developing. Your body is always changing as a woman with a period. Okay. And as we get older, in these hormonal imbalances or whatever is going on, everybody has a different go at it. Everybody has different body makeups, different genetic issues going on, different things that we are aware of or unaware of, but yet held to this societal standard of it should look only like this, or something's wrong with you, or you're just lazy because you look like that. And that's no further than the truth. It can be mental health issues going on. You just never know. But the point is, as a woman, our bodies are forever changing. Now, I don't know how true this is, and I meant to look it up, but I used to hear this old wives' tale about how a woman's body changes every 5 years. Now, again, I don't know how true this is. Hey, brother, thank you so much for joining. I don't know how true this is, but that's just what they say, right? And I think it's important for us to recognize as we continue to grow and as we continue to evolve that our bodies are doing the same thing. What used to work for me when I was 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, I could eat a Big Mac meal with extra cheese, large, and not be a problem because I also was on track team. I remember before big track meets, they used to order us Olive Garden, get us pumped up on a bunch of carbs and all the type of stuff because we gonna get on that track and burn all of that off. It's energy, okay? And it was perfect energy for what we were doing, feeding the muscles, feeding our bodies what it needed, right? And it's the same thing now. And if you continue on with the same type of diet you had as a kid, especially if it was an unhealthy one, it's not going to help you as you progress through life. It's only going to make things worse, right? But yeah, so you got to feed your body what it needs. And a lot of us aren't knowledgeable of those things or know how to handle that or deal with that, or nobody is having a conversation. People just make nasty comments towards you and be like, you getting big? Why you getting so big? Heifer, you don't know my story and all the things that I've been through. Okay? You don't know my pain. My stress don't show up like yours. Some people, when they're stressed, they don't eat at all. And they lose weight. Some people like me, when I'm stressed, I want to eat all the things. Give it all to me, okay? Because I'm overwhelmed. I'm anxious out. I got a lot going on, and I need this to help me in this moment. But some people, it's not even about food. It could be a thyroid issue. It could be, you just never know. And which is why it's important for us to get checked up on checkups on a regular basis. Stay in tune with your body, what's going on with you, things like that. But I say all that to say, I mean, even with me prior to kids, I had an irregular cycle. Since kids, it's been even more irregular. And also, my hormones have been even more unbalanced. Like, it's just a lot that goes on in a woman's body. And even like after having kids, it takes a year or two for a woman's body to go back to what it knew prior to creating a whole human being. Like, it's a lot going on. And so I just wanted to reassure her that this is not the first or the last time your body is going to change. You're going to have moments that you're completely in love with your body, and other moments when you're not. But at the end of the day, I think that your love for yourself should still be there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can have things like, oh, I want to work on this area, or oh, I want to, whatever your thing is, whatever. But I just want to pour into my daughters that they should love themselves at every stage of life, because it is forever changing. Forever changing. And it's nothing you can do about it but roll with the changes, right? Um, and so I don't want them to be hyper fixated on being a certain size, or like, I don't even really tell her sizes now. Because I don't want her to be thinking about that. Like, well, now I'm a size this and this and that and da, 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 da. No, we're not. We're not doing that. We're not doing, and it's not like I'm withholding anything from her. I just, again, don't want to hyper focus on that and be like, oh my gosh, you are extra large now. Like, what the crap? Like, that doesn't make you feel good. What's wrong with being an extra large? What's Is something wrong with being an extra large? Is that abnormal? Is something wrong with me? Like, that's the type of rhetoric that comes along with that, and I don't want to be I don't want to put that into her head or their heads. So yeah, that was very heartbreaking for me and as a parent. And I just didn't know. I'm sure it's going to be many of times that I feel heartbroken as a parent, but I felt like this one was kind of in my control, but it's really not, because it's her body, right? I can't tell her body to be this way and absorb the food this way, and but I can help her come up with healthy coping skills and emotionally stable um, mindsets, right? And so, again, I told her, nothing wrong with your body. Your body's going to continue to change. You're amazing. You're beautiful just the way you are. And I need you to believe that. I need you to really soak that in and really take it in and believe that, like, I'm beautiful. I'm great just as is, without exception. No change, no notes. Okay? No notes. Um, but yeah, so she said she understood, and I helped make her feel better about herself. And I told her, anytime you want to talk about it, we can talk about it. If you're still struggling with it, just let me know. It's nothing that you have to like carry by yourself. It's nothing like you got to be like, well, I already told my mama, and I don't want her to be like, you still dealing with that. So, not that I would, but I just don't want her to think that it's a burden for her to express herself to me about what's happening with her body. And so, yeah, she said she understood. She accepted my apology, and we're gonna move forward. So I told her the game plan, and she sounded really excited about it. She was asking me all freaking weekend, "Mom, we gonna walk? Mom, we going to walk? Mom, we gonna do this? Mom, we gonna do that?" Like, she's super excited about it, and I'm glad that she's excited about it. I made it sound really fun. Like, even though I know it's going to help her with processing what's going on. Like, I know it's going to help her physicality, but it really made her feel good to know that we were going to have some extra fun being active. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. So I did get some psychological perspectives on this type of stuff, because y'all already know I was intending on following my outline, but I did not follow the outline. I just been talking because why not? I mean, I do what I want on my podcast. But for the segment, did you know? And this is like the psychology behind what happened with me and Leah. So, did you know that when children confess something vulnerable, the way a parent responds can shape their long-term emotional safety? Okay, for my parents out there, the way that we respond helps shape their long-term emotional safety. Research and development psychology shows that children are more likely to be honest when they feel safe. And oh, that was just, that made me feel so good because she felt safe enough with me to let me in on some thoughts that she was having, right? And I pray to God that my children, for the rest of their lives, will always feel safe enough with me to disclose what they're thinking and feeling in the inside, that shame won't be able to touch it, that nothing will be able to keep them from expressing themselves to me because they know that they are safe with me in Jesus' name. Like, seriously. Because that's how a lot of kids out here get hurt, abused, and misused because they have nowhere that they feel safe enough to disclose what's really going on. But anywho, a calm response increases future communication. Again, I didn't flip out and be like, or dismiss her and be like, girl, go somewhere. You was not bad, like whatever. You know what I'm saying? I sat there, I interrogated to an extent. But like I just asked her questions. Let me use that rather than interrogate. I asked her questions about why do you feel this way? What's going on? Because I really want to understand, like, how did we get here, right? Another thing, emotional regulation in parents teaches emotional regulation in children. Is nothing wrong with your child seeing you cry or be emotional in general. I just chose to, again, I think in that moment, initially, I was in shock more so than anything. And I wanted it to go away. I wanted it to go away quickly because what? Not this trying to come up on my baby the way they was up on me. Absolutely not. You are not welcome here. But I remained calm and I just walked through it with her and I reaffirmed her. And then I had to double back on the conversation, apologize for something that I shouldn't have said with my own triggered mindset in initial conversation, and let her know, like, no, that's not what we're doing, but this is how we're going to handle it. And this is what's going on. Okay. So it was done with a lot of love and care, love and care, love and care. Okay. When a child shares something difficult, your nervous system activates first. It did mine. Okay. Your protection instinct, your fear, and your ego. All of the above happened. And there I go. No. I was ready to protect. No, you will not. And that's a fear of mine. Like that my fears or my things that I deal with is going to go up on my children. Absolutely not. No, I don't want them to feel heartbreak and pain and all the things that I've experienced so far in my life. Like, if I can keep it from them, I would do my best to, right? And my ego was like, woo, all of the above. Okay, so my nervous system got activated first. But your response teaches them, I am safe to tell the truth. I am loved even when I mess up, and I don't have to hide. That's what your response does to your child when they do want to confess or have a conversation with you or tell you something. Your response is everything. If a parent's response is off-putting or goes down this rabbit hole, bashing something, that kid is going to shut down. and not want to tell you because they may have thought that they were safe with you. And then they realized through this conversation, oh, actually, I can't say that to her because she not she not gonna receive, and she not okay. She already got her mind made up about these people or this thing or whatever, right? So yeah, no, we're not doing that. um, so yeah, when we respond calmly and kind, it teaches them that I don't have to hide. I am loved even when I mess up, and I am safe to tell the truth. Okay, so that's good. I'm not gonna do my questions because I've kind of already did all of this, and my this is just my life experience because this is my story and this is what happened, right? Um, but yeah, I thought that it her confession really did stop me in my tracks, and I had to really deal with those feelings that came up to the surface for me. Um, but it wasn't a catastrophe, right? And it wasn't because I failed in any of that, but it was because it reminded me that my child and my children are human, just like me. Even though they're my babies and I want to care for them and I do care for them and I want to protect them and all of the things, they are still human beings having a real human experience all the time. And that shook me in a different way. Um, and again, it made me realize that they are growing, they're navigating their own thoughts, they trust me enough to tell me the truth. And that's huge. Like, this isn't no little bitty baby anymore that needed me to feed them and bathe them and comfort them in a very beautiful way any longer. Um, and I think this was um, very telling for me as a parent, as a mom. Um, so yeah, I'm glad that I paused because this moment wasn't about me being right. It wasn't about them being. Uh, it was about them being safe. It was about her feeling safe and seen and understood. And I know for sure that that's evolution that has happened within me. Because the old me might have reacted, and or the more cluttered mindset me might have been dismissive and were like, girl, what did you talk about? Like, whatever. Like, no. Or came at it with the, now you know you ain't that type of stuff. But instead of sitting calmly and listening and giving her that space and then responding, right? Um, I chose to listen. I chose to be calm. I chose to answer, ask questions, clarifying questions, and I chose to keep that door open because I don't want a house full of secrets at all. I want a house full of safety, love, and respect. I respect my children enough. I love them enough. I want to keep them safe enough to continue to cultivate this relationship, right? I want them to always feel like they can come to me no matter what. So yeah, motherhood in this season is looking like this is heavier than I thought it would be. Parenting right now feels really heavy. Okay. Feels really, really heavy because I have she's not even preteen, but she's preteen. My baby's about to be 10. And her life is changing. And obviously, the world we're in, the world feels extremely heavy. Okay. And when you're raising kids, especially daughters, especially Black daughters, everything feels amplified. And I just refuse to parent from a place of fear. Like I don't want to parent from that space. I want to parent from a space of wisdom and connection, deep connection to my daughters. I want them to always be able to come to me and I be able to guide them with God's guidance, with the Holy Spirit's help, right? So yeah, this confession just reminded me that my job isn't to control every outcome. My job is to build trust with me and my daughters. So yeah, just some wise words from your girl before I get up out of here. Tools from my toolbox of life. Okay. Again, if you are a parent, it does not matter what age your children are. You can implement these things even now. If you haven't done it before, it's always time. God gives us another chance, another opportunity to get things right. Okay. So it's always time to try something new or a different way to communicate or to get in connection with your children if you don't have a great connection with your children, right? Or your child. So, one thing you can do is pause before responding. Just like I said, instead of being reactive, let's pause, let's take a breath, let's take it in, let's process it before we respond. Another thing, separate your fear from their behavior. This is not about you, mom or dad. This is about your child and what they're experiencing in that moment. And you need to separate your personal fear from their behavior. Okay. Another thing, ask open ended questions. All right. You want them to respond. You want them to process. You want them to understand, even for themselves, what they're telling you and what's going on, and really try to get to the root of what's happening without judgment, without um, trying to gain access to information to use against them at a later date. Like, be sincere and ask the questions that you really want to know the answer to in order to help them. Okay. Another thing is to reinforce love first, correction second. Let me run that back. Reinforce love first, correction second. All right. A lot of us will be like, oh, well, I told you not to do that. Why would you do that? That's stupid. That's silly. And you the one that choked and da da da. We can hold the correction. Reinforce love first. Listen, I know you made this decision and it didn't give you the best outcome, but it does not matter. I am still here. I still love you. I still care for you. I am in your corner. Whatever you need, we can work through this together. We can hold hands, whatever. Reinforce that love first. Correction second. Okay? Another thing, keep that door open. I'ma leave that door open. I'ma leave the door open. All right? I know that song talking about other stuff, but no, for real. Let's keep the door open. Because as long as the door is open, there is still time, there's still room for change and for connection to be deeper and for you guys to evolve together, right? Um, so yeah, I want to shine some light on life and in this area of life. I'm going to shine some light on honesty. Because when your child trusts you enough to confess something, that is the evidence of safety, not failure. All right. So if you're being honest and you're a pillar of honesty for your child, you express it, you show it, you live it, and you give them um, the space to do the same with you, that is evidence of safety. And no child should ever feel unsafe with a parent. I know it happens. I know this world is corrupt. I know a lot of things is going on. But as a parent, we want to do our best. And the best thing is to ensure that our child feels safe with us, not afraid, not fearful, not negative, not I can't tell her nothing because she's gonna judge me, or he's gonna be mad with me, he's gonna be angry with me. We're not doing that. Okay. So yeah. Let's get out of here. I hope you guys received all of this. I was unable to read the comments because I am so far from the computer. Like, what? I'm gonna have to really get up close to read some of these comments before we get out. Let me see. Ooh, child, TT is tired. Okay, I see. Thank you all for joining once again. I really appreciate you. Paris said, okay, now new set. That is so funny. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, mommy said new couch, James. James said, nice. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, we have a new set. Amen. She will be okay. Yes, TT, she will be okay. Hey, thank you so much for joining. You are a great mother to the girls. Thank you so much, TT. I really appreciate that. Mommy said, yes, she is. Not the door. Yes, leave the door open for the children. Okay. Let them express themselves. Let them get it off. I'm telling you, it's gonna help make your relationships better. Okay. Anywho, let's get up out of here. Let me see. Let me play my little theme song, child, before we do our Speak Life affirmation. I still didn't do the thing. Listen, I'm busy. I got a lot going on, but God is good. Okay? Isn't he? Always? Yes.
Honestly, I'm tired of repeating the same cycle.
That'd be so loud.
I wanna let it go.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. All right. So, this segment of the podcast is Speak Life. This is where I leave you with some words to hold on to until next time. They're not just for me as well. Okay. So, today's Speak Life affirmation is: I create a home where truth is safe and love is steady. Again, today's Speak Life affirmation is: I create a home where truth is safe and love is steady. You heard it, you say it, you write it down, and remind yourself to speak that thing and make it happen because life is life in us all. Y'all have a wonderful night. Thank y'all so much again for joining. I truly, truly, truly appreciate you all. I hope that this helped you as much as it helped me. The girls episode will be coming very soon. We're trying to decide on what we're going to talk about. So we'll see what they say they're going to talk about sooner than later. I have some ideas and trying to work with them, so we'll see. But thank y'all again. I hope this was great for you as much as it was for me. I'll see you next time. Bye.
Honestly, I'm tired of repeating the same cycles. I wanna